Switzerland. Famed for its meticulous precision and unparalleled quality, is a land synonymous with exquisite chocolate and luxurious watches. As a post-industrial nation, Switzerland boasts a highly service-driven, free-market capitalist economy. Despite being one of the world's most expensive countries on the planet, it consistently ranks at the top of the quality of life index. Though the Swiss tend not to flaunt their wealth, Switzerland frequently makes headlines as one of the richest countries in the world, with a staggering GDP per capita exceeding $80,000. Switzerland's unique history and strategic location have cemented its prestigious status in international finance. Beyond iconic luxury watch brands like Rolex and Richard Mill, and renowned chocolate brands such as Lindt and Toblerone, Switzerland offers much more. Despite its geographic challenges, often described as a landlocked country with no direct access to trade routes or the sea, Switzerland has thrived. It lacks abundant natural resources like oil, gas, or coal, and its rugged terrain complicates the construction of cost-effective infrastructure. Yet, these obstacles have not hindered its economic success. Switzerland does not have access to cheap labor. So, how did it become so wealthy despite these disadvantages? The answer lies in one of the most crucial factors in business and trade: trust. Whether it's high-value services, trains navigating high altitudes with tourists, exports of pharmaceuticals and agricultural products, or the notorious banks safeguarding your money, whether hard-earned or not, Switzerland excels at offering unparalleled trust, establishing itself as a financial powerhouse. The impact of World War II. Claims that Switzerland was wealthy at the beginning of the 20th century lacked credibility. The Swiss economy truly began to take off around World War II, while other European countries faced total collapse due to the war. Switzerland's economy flourished. Switzerland's decision to remain neutral played a significant role in this success. World War II was a time of chaos, and Switzerland leveraged this chaos to its advantage. Some argue that everyone should follow Switzerland's stance on neutrality during wars. However, it's important to recognize that every country can be drawn into conflict. Switzerland was involved in the war, but in a different way. The strategy was simple. Switzerland did not go to war to kill people. Instead, they provided weapons to those who did. And while nations were busy fighting, Switzerland offered the safest place on the planet to store their beloved sacred wealth. In essence, Switzerland's neutrality was more of an economic decision than a moral one. The Nazis, for instance, did not only steal from Jews, but from everyone, and they stored much of this wealth in Swiss banks. This pragmatic approach allowed Switzerland to emerge from the war as an economic powerhouse. Many wealthy Jews and others stored their money in Swiss banks. The Germans also sold looted gold to the Swiss to acquire Swiss francs, which were then used to purchase steel from Nordic countries. Swiss banks were aware of the origins of this gold, but chose not to object. You might argue that Switzerland isn't pure, but can you name a country that is? Over the years, many of these bank accounts were forgotten, and once the original owners passed away, it became exceedingly difficult for anyone else to withdraw the money. The extent to which this contributed to Switzerland's economic success remains a controversial topic with no consensus. The Swiss economy. The Swiss consume 12 kilograms of chocolate per person per year, enjoy more than 450 varieties of cheese, cultivate over 250 varieties of grapevines, and bake more than 200 types of bread. Typically, they prefer domestically produced goods, choosing quality over cheap imports. This inclination to use their resources wisely, coupled with an awareness of their limitations, drives the Swiss economy. Switzerland understands that its economic success is tied to value-added services. This realization prompts a strong focus on creating a highly skilled workforce and investing in people. The result is a culture of industriousness, as evidenced by companies like Nestlé, AB, Novartis, Roche, Buller, Schindler, and Swatch. Investing in education and research programs is of prime importance in Switzerland, which ranks among the top countries for R&D investment. Switzerland also holds the highest number of patents per capita and boasts one of the highest average national IQs at 102. The country has produced 27 Nobel Prize winners, one of the highest per capita rates globally, while made in China often brings to mind products with questionable longevity. Swiss-made is synonymous with high quality, durable items crafted with meticulous attention to detail and exceptional craftsmanship. Beyond its renowned watches, Switzerland also excels in agriculture and pharmaceuticals. Agricultural and pharmaceutical strengths. Switzerland produces a variety of agricultural goods, including wheat, sugar, dairy products, and wine, both for domestic consumption and export. Switzerland's economy is further bolstered by its robust pharmaceutical sector, home to industry giants like Novartis and Roche. Political stability and trust. Switzerland's economic success is also attributed to its political stability. Swiss citizens trust their government largely because they have a direct say in public policies, including tax decisions. Unlike in many other countries, a new administration in Switzerland does not aim to dismantle the achievements of its predecessor. Presidents are not treated like royalty. Instead, an inner council elects a mostly ceremonial president annually. This system facilitates the implementation and continuation of long-term plans. The direct democracy approach, while having some nationalistic tendencies evident in attitudes towards immigrants, works effectively for a small population like Switzerland's. This method ensures that government spending directly benefits the public and prevents elites from manipulating policies for their gain. Direct democracy and economic efficiency. This Swiss direct democracy model makes it difficult for the government to squander money on projects that don't benefit the populace. It also protects against elite interference in policy making. This framework supports a culture of accountability and sustained economic growth, ensuring that Switzerland remains a model of stability and prosperity in an ever-changing world. In Switzerland, not only do projects and policies require consensus among political representatives, but they also need approval from the public through frequent referendums. The Swiss participate in a significant number of referendums, ensuring that the people's voice is integral to the country's governance. With a population of over 8.5 million people spread across the country, managing such direct democracy is more feasible. The substantial wealth flowing into Swiss banks allows them to offer loans easily to citizens, fostering a robust domestic market. Additionally, the beautiful mountains, lakes, and well-developed tourism infrastructure contribute an estimated 2.6% to the country's GDP through tourism. Fiscal conservatism and economic resilience. The Swiss are very conservative when it comes to fiscal policies. They prefer voting for tax increases over the government taking on more debt. Despite this, taxes in Switzerland are relatively low compared to other Western European countries. The Swiss workforce is known for its long hours and high productivity, contributing to a low unemployment rate and a culture that emphasizes hard work. Although salaries are high, so is the cost of living. Switzerland has also adeptly navigated staying out of the European Union without suffering adverse effects. Labor market and economic strategy. Switzerland attracts low-skilled labor from Eastern Europe and high-skilled labor from neighboring countries like Italy, Austria, France, and Germany. By exporting goods to economically strong neighbors, Switzerland benefits without being directly affected by EU policies. The Swiss are known for their peaceful nature, despite many citizens keeping their rifles after compulsory military service. The country maintains a low incidence of gun violence. Culture of saving and economic prudence. Swiss culture places a strong emphasis on saving money. This saving habit is partly due to Switzerland's welfare system and less robust employment protection, which encourages people to save more. Historically, Switzerland was not always wealthy. Previous generations, having endured poverty in a challenging climate and terrain, were prudent with their spending. This tradition of low consumer spending persists in the country today. Swiss culture. Work hard. Spend little. Save a lot. The Swiss people embody a culture of work hard, spend little, and save a lot, which significantly contributes to their economic stability and prosperity. Swiss banks. No discussion of Switzerland's economy is complete without mentioning its banks. Swiss banks are infamous for their banking secrecy principles, attracting a significant amount of money, some of it allegedly illicit, into their vaults. This reputation has earned Switzerland the label of a tax haven, a notion popularized by numerous Hollywood movies. Despite lacking natural resources, Swiss banks are considered the country's mines. The origins and evolution of banking secrecy. Banking secrecy in Switzerland dates back to 1713, when the Great Council of Geneva enacted a law against the disclosure of client information, initially intended to protect specific individuals and groups. Swiss banking secrecy's reputation steadily grew during World War I, as other European countries levied heavy taxes to support their war efforts. Swiss bankers capitalized on the fears of wealthy individuals by offering them secrecy and security, while disclosing client information had been a civil offense for centuries. The Swiss Federal Assembly took it a step further in 1934 with the Federal Act on Banks, making it a federal criminal offense to breach banking secrecy. This landmark legislation solidified Switzerland's reputation as a secure place to store wealth. Neutrality and economic trust. Switzerland's strong currency, declaration of neutrality during World War II, and long history as a safe haven for wealth further bolstered its reputation as a trustworthy place in times of crisis and beyond. However, this reputation has not been without controversy. Switzerland has faced significant criticism for providing a refuge for the wealth of dictators, despots, mobsters, arms dealers, corrupt officials, and tax evaders. Switzerland's economic model, characterized by fiscal conservatism, a strong work ethic, and a unique banking system, has positioned it as a global financial powerhouse. While the country's banking secrecy has drawn international criticism, it remains a cornerstone of Switzerland's economic success, contributing to its status as one of the wealthiest nations in the world. Swiss banking secrecy and its impact. The strategy is straightforward. If you're on trial in your home country for money laundering, your wealth remains secure in Swiss banks. Arrested for shady business practices, your wealth stays safe in Swiss banks. Pass away, your wealth remains protected indefinitely in Swiss banks. The reality is that many criticize the Swiss banking industry until their own wealth is involved. Role in the Swiss economy. Switzerland's banking industry has played a crucial role in its economy. The banking sector has significantly contributed to investments within the country, from education to healthcare According to the Swiss Bankers Association, in 2018, Swiss banks held approximately $6.5 trillion in assets, which accounted for 25% of all global cross-border assets. In 2020, the Swiss National Bank reported that total banking assets in Switzerland were equivalent to 500% of the country's total GDP. Changes and continuities in banking practices. There have been claims that Switzerland's banking industry has undergone significant changes, pushing those with shady money practices to seek alternatives like the Cayman Islands. Despite this, wealthy individuals and entities continue to work with Swiss banks such as UBS AG and Credit Suisse Group AG, valuing their expertise and the quality of advice and service they provide. The international push against banking secrecy. Recent international efforts have aimed to roll back Swiss banking secrecy, while Switzerland has signed several agreements, and some news reports have suggested that banking secrecy no longer exists. The truth is that these laws remain largely intact. Swiss banks maintain a clear distinction between tax avoidance and tax evasion, and under Swiss law, external authorities must meet stringent conditions to access confidential banking information. Most external authorities find these standards challenging to meet. Corruption perception and reality. In 2018, Transparency International ranked Switzerland as the third least corrupt country in the world. However, its banking sector tells a different story. Due to strong secrecy laws and a large offshore banking industry that facilitates money laundering and conceals dubious funds, the Swiss banking sector was rated as the most corrupt globally. Swiss banks have become a symbol of both trust and controversy, while their stringent secrecy laws have drawn international criticism and accusations of facilitating corruption. They remain a cornerstone of Switzerland's economic strength. The balance between maintaining privacy and addressing global demands for transparency continues to shape the Swiss banking landscape. The unique Swiss economic model. The Swiss economic model is exceptional and cannot be easily replicated by other countries. Several unique factors contribute to its success, making it difficult for other nations to achieve the same results. Switzerland's ability to remain neutral in wars, its relatively less invadable terrain, and the unparalleled level of trust it provides are all integral to its model. Additionally, Switzerland's capacity to offer substantial loans to its citizens supports a strong domestic market. However, two fundamental lessons can be gleaned from Switzerland's economic success. Lesson 1. Trust. Trust is the cornerstone of any business, financial transaction, or monetary exchange. Switzerland's banking industry exemplifies this principle, providing a secure environment that attracts global wealth. The Swiss have built an enduring reputation for reliability and discretion, making their banks a preferred choice for individuals and entities worldwide. Lesson 2. Culture. The Swiss culture of work hard, spend little, and save a lot is a critical factor in their economic success. This ethos fosters a strong work ethic, financial prudence, and a high savings rate, contributing to the country's overall prosperity. Embracing such cultural values can lead to economic stability and growth, even if the broader Swiss model is not fully replicable. While the Swiss economic model is unique and not easily duplicated, the principles of trust and a prudent, hard-working culture offer valuable insights for other countries. By fostering trust in financial systems and promoting a culture of hard work and savings, nations can enhance their economic resilience towards economic growth, stability, and prosperity. Consider subscribing. Check out my top videos and I'll see you there.